Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone, and welcome to Higher, Further, Faster, the Ms. Marvel season. Today, we have a look at the brand new season pass card, 3 working decks with this new card, along with a review of both bundles in the shop and a look at what my shop was today. Before we go any further, though, I'd like to invite you to hit that sub button. We bring you all the Marvel Snap content you could possibly need. This is your one-stop shop for all things Marvel Snap. We're doing bundle reviews, we're doing shop reviews, we're doing decks, we're doing news, OTA, patch, everything you need is right here on this channel. Hit that sub button. Don't miss out. We bring you the best decks before anyone else. We were in the process of the biggest giveaway of all of Marvel Snap. We've given away, I think, already like 17 season passes. We are giving away one more season pass today. That season pass will be for Monday's video. All you have to do is like, comment, and sub. Make sure you're subbed, like, and comment on that video. And for Friday's video, I will be pulling a winner for one last season pass. Yesterday's video had all the YouTube winners. If you would like to check that out, see if you won, please make sure you do so. The Marvel Snap Zone winners have all been emailed, and our Twitter winners are on screen. You have all been DM'd on Twitter. All you have to do is check your Twitter and respond. All good? Next up, we believe in deck credits here. People deserve credit for the work they do in Marvel Snap. We also have an outline. So we have W, one of the best players in all of Marvel Snap. He has created multiple meta decks, from the Thanos lockdown that was going around with Spider-Man and Professor X for a while, to the original Doom Wave. W is brilliant and wins major tournaments with his decks. W has it's Ms. Marvel deck. It's my favorite so far. Then we have a bundle guide for Peach, You're So Cool. Then we're going to look at Dera's version, which is a Sandman Ms. Marvel deck. Dera is one of the top 10 players in all of Marvel Snap. He finishes near the top of the Infinite leaderboard. He is brilliant and phenomenal and a huge streamer. So if you're going to play his deck, you want to make sure you're playing it early before it is everywhere. Next up, we have a bundle guide for Half a World Away. Finally, we have HowlingMines, our old friend, who has the win rate we've seen in the thumbnail, with an 82% win rate in about 35 games, 34 games, something along those lines, with Ms. Marvel in a sort of off-the-wall build that I really like a lot. This is the type of deck I usually like to play. I think I like the W one better because I think she fits really well in Lockdown, but like these are all stellar decks. Finally, we'll look at my shop for the day. All right, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy version W2. That's his name for it. This deck is fundamentally a lockdown deck, and I know Daredevil is bugged. It'll be a better deck once Daredevil is not bugged. What this deck basically wants to do is it wants to use Miss Marvel to put a lot of power in lanes, saying if I got all this power from cards like Nebula growing, let's say Nebula, Medusa, let's forget Storm, Mr. Fantastic, Ms. Marvel, my Professor X, if especially, should be able to win either the left or right lane. I should be able to figure that out and take it over. And if they're playing the left or right lane, I can use Professor X to win that center lane and just go to town from there. At that point, I have for the last turn win, I've already got like at least 7 power in one of those lanes. Alioth should be able to win it. Doom should be helpful, or you can just try and go over the top with Gamora. You probably shouldn't play this without Alioth and Jeff, but if you were going to try, it's Leader and Nightcrawler. Lad can be Jubilee. You don't actually lose all that much. You lose a bit, but not all that much for it. Nebula can be Lizard, but that's actually going to hurt. If you are going to replace Lad with Jubilee, you're going to Jubilee in that center lane. This way you don't, Ms. Marvel doesn't care about the cost in her own lane, so you would have 2 4s in that lane and it wouldn't be a big deal. Putting in work, because it's a W2. So turn 1, Nebula blind. I almost always play Nebula unless I have like a lot of ways to get into a blank lane where the opponent might not be able to play, because at that point she's a gigantic card. Turn 2, Medusa's better than Daredevil's better than Jeff, in my opinion. Daredevil might go up to first when he's fixed. For now, Daredevil just shows you where the opponent is playing, and honestly, that's kind of enough because you're trying to figure out where to play that Professor X. Storm is great turn 3. If you can Storm and then get off that Professor X, you don't even have to like super stress that Storm lane, because Alioth is going to close you out the final lane at that point. Turn 4 is Ms. Marvel over Lad, Mr. Fantastic Soul. Like, there's no bad 3. Ms. Marvel over Lad is a general rule, unless the opponent's junking you up or something along those lines. Turn 5 is Professor X or Gamora. Again, Professor X is your absolute priority here. And turn 6, you usually want Alioth, but Doom is also excellent. Quick variant look. We are a hippie deck here. We have 5 hips. You'll love to see it. Nebula, Medusa, Jeff, Iron Lad, and Alioth. This is the Ms. Marvel you are getting for completing the season pass. I'm super, super excited for it. I think it's gorgeous. This Daredevil came from some little bundle. It was a like beta season pass card type thing. Whatever. I don't usually use Baby Doom. Emperor Doom is better. Sorry. But I have Baby Professor X, so I figured Baby Doom is nice as a nice little combo. Um, this is the Gamora we got from the Nebula season pass, so it gets to chill with Nebula. We have my cool, creepy Mr. Fantastic that a lot of people don't like, but I really love. And I have this Storm with a gold background. It's my favorite Storm. And Storm is one of those rare cards that just has 0 bad variants. Next up, we have Peach. You're so cool. For $65, this isn't a terrible deal. It's a good deal, right? $65 basically says in this instant, get middling gold and credits, but also get a Series 6 card of your choice. If you are early enough in the game to want this, then it's great. So I'm very likely to buy this. I don't really need the collector's tokens, but I do need a good She-Hulk, and this She-Hulk is gorgeous. So I'm probably just going to grab this on Friday. Should you buy it? It's good. It's not one of the best bundles, but it's a good bundle. So if you're willing to spend, there's a Series 6 card you want, excuse me, Series 5 card you want, then just grab this and move on with life. You will not be sad to have an extra card that you really want, right? Um, 500 gold and 5,000 credits is fine. It's nothing to sneeze at, but it's also nothing special. It's worth noting when you look at this for $65 that you get a Series 5 card for the cost of the season pass. That's $9.99. So like you should be buying season pass. This is a perfect example of why. The season pass is similar credits, like 4 variants instead of one. One Series 5 card and then like 900 gold or more than that because you're getting your weekend missions too. So like you get more gold for $10 and you get a Series 5 card. So like if you're gonna buy this or the season pass, just buy the season pass. The season pass is too good of a deal. That said, if there's an old Series 5 card you want or a new Series 5 card you know you're not gonna have keys for that you really want, say for example, Alioth, I guess, right? Then you can just do this and call it a day. Next up, we have Dera's Ms. Marvel Lock. This is a relatively similar build to the other one, except, for the Sandman package. You can play this as a lockdown, basically. You can say Nebula, Sunspot, yada yada. Ms. Marvel, I'm going to Professor X and win, and then I'll just Alioth to win, or I'll Orca to go over the top, or I'll Doom. That works just fine. You also have the Electro into Sandman. You can't do anything wins. The wave into Doom, and then Alioth, I've gone wide and over the top. If you wave Doom, Ms. Marvel, Alioth, that's really right. You're just putting a lot of power in a lot of places on the board. Everything else here should be relatively straightforward, right? Like Nebula incentivizes your opponent to play in certain places. If they're playing in certain places, that makes Professor X better. Sunspot, if you have Electro, is just going to be a 1/4-ish. And like there's no real downside to having that in your deck. It also gives you the opportunity to skip as necessary and not feel bad about it a lot of the time. Iron Lad has nothing but almost nothing but good targets to hit. And also, if you have to Iron Lad on 5 and it hits wave, you can still play Jeff into 6 on the last turn of the game. Jeff ignores an Electro, for example. Jeff and Nebula are again important as heck. Alioth 2. Nightcrawler, Iceman, or Lizard, and Leader would be the replacements. Iceman a little bit better than Lizard here, I think, in personal opinion. The disruption is really like with Mobius, at least for another day, nerfed. Iceman is great. Might want to get your Iceman play in. This is a potential meta answer, assuming that Loki storms his way back momentarily, which, like, it's Loki, he's extraordinarily likely to do. That's kind of the point of Loki. Um, Turn 1, Nebula is better than Sunspot. Turn 2, you have to get out Nebula if you're planning to at all. Then it's Jeff, then it's Sunspot. Turn 3, Electro, better than Wave, is better than no ramp at all. And then, like, the greater thans in the lower section are just if you go Electro, you go Sandman or Professor X. Then you go Doom, then you go Alioth. If you go with Wave, you then go Doom or Professor X. Professor X is strong enough that you could still do that. Doom is also fine. My wife is apparently on the phone. Sorry about that. Then you go Professor X or Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel is great after Doom. It's just here, enjoy that 10 power. And then you can just drop an Orca particularly if you did a Professor X into Ms. Marvel, then you Orca, and that's a 20 power lane. The Professor X lane is 1. Enjoy. If you didn't ramp, you go Ms. Marvel or Iron Lad into Professor X or Sandman into Alioth or Orca. All good? Let's keep it going. Variant time. I decided not to run a couple of the hips I have here. Um, I'm trying to will that Ms. Marvel hip into my shop, but we still have a lovely 4 hips still, because we have Jeff, Wave, Lad, and Alioth. It's lovely. I have the hip Nebula that I decided to do this Spotlight Cash one instead. We've got Twitch Drop Sunspots, one of my 2 favorite sunspots in the game. I did not buy the hip sunspot because spending money on a card when I already have one I like seems silly to me, unless I like super love it. I like this Electro a lot. This feels the most Electro of basically everything but the Ultimate. I'm not spending tokens ever on Ultimate variants. Um, got this Orca. Orca is really cool. I think he looks cool and intimidating. It's hard for a giant freaking fishman, so awesome. This is the best Doom. Let's go and bundle. I hate Sandman. Adorable. Ooh. Next up. Oh, crap. Did I not do the second bundle here? Huh, interesting. All right, the second bundle is $10 for a Black Widow variant. Where the heck did I put that? Whee, there it is. It's in a weird random spot at the end. We'll go back to the other deck after this. Cool. This is the Half a World Away bundle for Black Widow. It's $10 for a pretty good Pitching Momoko Black Widow variant. 800 gold and 750 credits. This is probably technically not as good as just buying gold from the shop right now for $10, because gold from the shop has extra value. It's going to double the first time you buy it. That said, otherwise, this is a pretty good bundle. If you are buying it, save that 800 gold. There's a bundle coming next month called Sugar and Spice that you want to buy. It is the best bundle in months unless they nerf it, and it is like a must buy. So you can feel free to grab this, save that 800 gold, use your credits, get a cool variant, and go from there. All good? This is a good value if you plan to do that. Again, if you're just going to buy gold, like the $5 gold bundle gets you more gold than this, and the credits are nice, but like it's only 750. It's not like that's a crazy. I do like this variant a lot. I probably not buying this, but like there's a chance, right? There's a chance I buy this. Okay, let's get back to the actual deck. 27 and 6, so 33 games, not 34. Excuse me from the intro. This is HowlingMines Higher, Further, Faster. I'm calling it Howling Further Faster in my head just because I like that name. This deck is really, really cool. It's got a lot of power on the board and a lot of ongoings. So you can end the game by, with Zabu out, playing 2/4s that are extremely powerful. You can go surprise Ms. Marvel Super Scroll, right? And just be like, let's go to town. Or you can, if you've played a lot of these cards earlier, drop a Spectrum, and Spectrum in this instance basically operates as a mini Doom. You have, for example, Luke in one lane, Zabu in another, and then you have Ms. Marvel and Super Scroll out. You've given +4 to both of those lanes. That seems pretty good, right? Like, and you have a 7 there, so now that's basically the same stats as Doom that you've added to the board from Spectrum, except that it's a pump that can allow you to go taller, and that 7 is a little bigger. That's basically all this does. It's a really good card. You can easily replace it with Doom, but I, want to run Spectrum because it's really cool, and Howling ran Spectrum for great effect. We also obviously have the Darkhawk package of Korg, Zabu, Rock Slide, and Darkhawk, because it's one of the best packages in the game, and apparently always will be until they do something with it. But I don't think they should. I think it's balanced and good and fun now. All right, you need the Darkhawk Zabu combo. Everything else is early series, but you need Darkhawk Zabu. If you buy that Peach Momoko bundle, you can just go buy Darkhawk and Zabu and call it a day, though. Sorry, She-Hulk one. All right, this is quite cool. So turn 1, Korg over Ant-Man. Korg is disruptive. Ant-Man needs telegraphs your plays. Turn 2, Zabu is like the ultimate priority. Zabu is the ultimate priority to an extent that I considered cutting something for America Chavez. Then Lizard, then Luke. Nicely for Lizard. If they fill the Lizard lane, Luke will pop its power back up. Turn 3, Rock Slide. Again, disruption is good. If you have Zabu out, feel free to play Ms. Marvel, Super Scroll, Darkhawk, Typhoid in that order. Darkhawk and Typhoid are vulnerable to Shang, while Ms. Marvel and Super Scroll are not, so I play the one that's rolling to Shang later. Turn 4, there's a possibility if of Rock Slide and Ant-Man here. if you need to, but also Miss Marvel over Typhoid over Darkhawk over Super Skrull. If you think your opponent's playing Sarah, move Super Skrull right up that list. Turn 5, ideally Zabu is out. Zabu with a 2, like, so this would be where you play Luke. So Luke and Darkhawk Typhoid or Ms. Marvel here is absolutely insanely strong. Try it. And then Spectrum or 2/3 if you have to, if like all else fails. Like, look, saying I drop Darkhawk and I drop Typhoid is an awful lot of power, assuming Luke came out the previous turn, right? You could also, without seeing Zabu, end up playing Rock Slide and Zabu on that last turn, and that would open up that last turn play for you. That would open up that Darkhawk Typhoid play. Although at that point you have to have Luke out earlier. Yada yada. You get the idea. Nicely, Super Scroll means that Rogue doesn't counter you. There's a lot of Rogue in the meta right now, and Super Scroll means that they take your ability, but you still have your ability also, just on a different body. Finally, let's talk variants. We've got our nope, 4 hips. Awesome. 4 hips is what we're always aiming for. Korg, Zabu, my favorite variant in the game is this Zabu, at least arguably. Typhoid Mary and Spectrum. Love to see it. The best Rock Slide, Rock Paper Scissors Slide. My favorite Luke, Cage Fighter Luke. My favorite Ant-Man because Roy had this when we first started playing, my co-host on the podcast, and I loved it so much, and I didn't get it forever. Chibi Super Skrull, who has the right superpowers, which is important. Specific Super Skrull of Kl'rt has Fantastic Four powers, not like random X-Men powers. And this extremely cool Darkhawk. 2 Darkhawks, I like this one better. Sadly, though, this deck has 2 base art cards, Lizard and Claw. I need variants for them. Put them in my shop so I can give you my money second dinner. I am down to 15 cards still, 16 technically because of Miss Marvel. But Miss Marvel comes with a variant, and 14 because I don't have a Psylocke variant, and Psylocke is coming in the, not season pass, the conquest rewards, and I'm definitely going to get the conquest rewards for Psylocke. So at that point, like, I will be down to 14 without doing anything extra. So let's go. I want a variant for every card. We did that. Let's talk this. This was my shop 2 days ago. We'll also talk my shop today. Cool. This shop was great. First thing I did was I saw that dagger and immediately grabbed it. I grabbed it because I also have this cloak, the 1602 cloak, and cloak and dagger are a team. They both have that nice purple like highlight. I wanted to pair them together, so I have 2 Infinauts. You can see the 2 Infinauts I have. I still bought the hip. The 2 Infinauts. So my problem with these 2 Infinauts is they feel so similar. They feel like the same card, and that makes me a little bit sad, and I never know which one I want to play. So, if all else fails, just play a hip and be happy. That's where we are. I have what my favorite X23 variant is right here, so I'm not buying the baby. That's a waste of money. I have a really great M'Baku, so I don't need a Luchador M'Baku, although props to that art. Jane Foster is one of the last 15, and I saw the baby, and I almost grabbed it, but I checked her upcoming variants, and coming in early December is this gorgeous variant. So I'm going to save and just buy this exceedingly pretty variant instead of spending my gold on one that I sort of don't really enjoy just to have one. All good. Let's keep going. Next up, we have Today's Shop. Today's Shop was wildly disappointing, and there was honestly nothing I super considered buying. I'm not spending money on pixels. There's a hip Bishop that I don't have, but I want. There's a hip Omega Red that I don't have, but I want. I have other variants for them, so the only thing I will buy until then is the hips. 2 days ago's video, we talked about my Spider-Woman variants. I have great Spider-Man variants. I don't need another. Watu is a pixel. Nikia is a pixel. I have hip Rhino. I have this Red Skull and this Black Cat. I like both the Red Skull and Black Cat better. I'm not happy that I'm spending money on Nazi Boy anyway. Noir Black Cat is gorgeous though, and I'm a big fan of it. Finally, I played my 10 games as fast as humanly possible today to get my Spotlight Cash thing. And when I did, I got 1,000,000 credits, so I opened some collector's track stuff, and I got Magneto. And then I had a Spotlight variant in the whatever rank 70 reward, and I got hip Iron Man. So 2 free hips today. Today was a good day. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that sub button, like, comment, show some love. We're going to show the best love to you we can. bringing you the best Marvel Snap content we can every single week today. Thanks so much for watching.